Hello! Tonight I'm going to be doing my very first video tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to make one of these little bow ear warmers. Hopefully it won't be my last video tutorial. I hope this is helpful and makes something that maybe seems a little bit daunting totally manageable for people who are just wanting to start out. I chose this project because it's one of my very favorite ones. It's super cute and just fun, and B, because it's the perfect project to start out with. You knit basically two straight rectangles with very straightforward directions. There's only one stitch that you really need to know, and you can totally do it. So let's get started. You're going to need a few things to do this. So the first is obviously some yarn. I'm going to be using this maroon thick yarn from Hobby Lobby. It is the Yarn Bee brand, and it is the Effortless is the name of kind of the yarn line. I lost a little paper, so I don't know the name of the color, but it's a really pretty kind of maroon color. I'm sure you can find it if you go to Hobby Lobby. Don't forget your 40% off coupon. I'll show you on this other skein of yarn that I have, if you can see here. If you turn yarn around to the back, the label has this legend here that tells you kind of all the specs about the yarn. And one of those things is a little bitty tiny picture of a skein of yarn with a number in it, and that's upside down, so not as helpful as I thought it might be. Okay, there we go. So you can see here that this one says super bulky, and it has the number 6 inside of that little picture. And the yarn that you're going to want for this project is either a 6 super bulky or a 5 bulky would be fine too. The bigger the yarn that you use and the bigger the needles, the bigger the stitches are that you make and the faster things knit. So especially when you're starting out, it's great to do projects that knit up really fast, and also big stitches are easier to see and kind of harder to drop and mess up with, I think. So the next thing that you need are some knitting needles. These are the ones I'll be using. Mine are pointed on both ends, but that's not necessary for this project. You're going to want a size anywhere between like an 11 and a 13 for your knitting needles. Again, these are really big, and they go with big yarn. So the last thing that you will need, which is kind of optional, if you have it, it's nice. If not, I think you can probably work around it. This is called a darning needle, and it's basically just a big needle, and you can see how big the eye of that needle is there. And that's so that you can thread thick yarn through it, and all you do with it in this project is at the end, the leftover little ends of your yarn, you're going to just hide them. So like I said, I think in this case you can probably get away without the needle. Since you have big stitches, you probably could kind of do it just with your fingers, but if you have one, it's easier. So those are the supplies, and that's kind of the intro, so let's get started.